Welcome to the You're in Charge podcast, prioritizing your self-care without sacrifice. I'm your host, Heather Dumas, healthy lifestyle strategist, owner and founder of HD Transformations Coaching Company. I am passionate about helping you juggle all the balls and look and feel like a badass doing it. Have you ever noticed that no one talks about the hard parts of adulting, parenting, life? When you start, you grow up and you you know that you're going to go to school and maybe go to college and get a job and get married and have kids and live happily ever after. Or, maybe one of those things isn't part of that, but that's kind of what they tell us. Especially like Disney movies. We're going to find our prince and he's going to, love us forever and sweep us off our feet, blah, 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 blah. And when you become a mom, or you get pregnant, or you're talking about getting pregnant, everybody talks about how fun it is and babies are a blessing. And, maybe people will tell you some horror stories about sleepless nights or potty training or whatever. But there are a lot of parts that people don't warn you about. There are a lot of parts that completely derail your life. There are a lot of life transitions. There are a lot of life circumstances that make it impossible or seemingly impossible for you to take care of yourself. Or maybe just kind of take the wind out of your sail so that you don't want to do those things because you need to do other things. I'm in one of those transitions right now. My son is graduating from high school. And I keep seeing these memes that no one ever tells you how hard it is. No one ever tells you about this part. No one tells you that not only does it feel like your heart's being ripped from your chest when they're little and they start walking around and running around, and now you don't have them inside of you and you can't hold them and swaddle them, and now they're running around. And not only does it feel like your heart's being ripped from your chest the first time they get their heart broken, but when you imagine them leaving for like ever, it is really hard. And not to mention, I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and it is like a part-time job to help these little geese leave the nest because there's so many hurdles and hoops that they have to jump through, whether it's college applications or scholarships or, whatever. There's a lot of things, whether it's checking of boxes, ordering caps and gowns. Like, it just feels like there's so many more things, right? Which, is it that different than every other day? There's always a million things happening that are threatening to distract us from what we quote unquote need to do. Because let's be honest, our kids are our most important thing to us. But what if you could, excuse me, what if you could go through those transitions without having to stop taking care of yourself? What if, in fact, you saw it as an opportunity to maybe start something new? If that little birdie is leaving the nest, you might have some extra time on your hands. Maybe not. Or even if they're not leaving the nest, maybe they're supposedly self-contained adults, but they're still living at home. You have a little less sometimes obligation. So I want to discuss ways that you can handle life transitions, some strategies for maintaining your self-care through these transitions, how to make sure that you're celebrating in a healthy way, and really just kind of navigating all of this change without losing sight of your goals, without stopping taking care of yourself, and letting it completely get you off track. So first off, an opportunity to reassess. Whether you have birthed your own child or not, having babies, having toddlers, it has a different effect on your body. You tend to have, a little less sleep, they say. I don't know. I don't know if I sleep less when I'm worrying about my teenagers or if I sleep less when you have toddlers, but maybe you have less sleep. Maybe at that point in time, you're eating their chicken nuggets, which I hope you weren't. But if you're a mom of a toddler, please don't eat toddler food. Don't feed your toddler food. Eat real food and feed them that. That's a different topic for another day. But it's an opportunity to kind of step back and go, okay, wow, My kid's 18, they're moving out, and maybe this isn't your life transition. Maybe you know, you have an adult kid that just got married, or maybe you're helping take care of your parents and they're moving back in, or, any life transition. It's really an opportunity um, to step back and go, okay, you know, I've been working toward this point in my life, or, knew this point was coming and now it's here. What does the rest of my life look like? I've spent 18 years, I'm going to stick with this graduation analogy. I've spent the last 18 years raising this kid. Now he's ready to go on and take flight and be his own human. Um, I definitely have sacrificed some sleep. I definitely have stressed out over him. I definitely have, put him before myself plenty of times. And now, what do I want the next 18, 20 years to look like? Maybe I want to put myself first. Maybe now that I don't have to make sure that he's getting to school and getting homework done, maybe now I can take that time to exercise, take that time to find a group to hike with or walk with or bike with or whatever. So it's a really natural break and a fresh start, an opportunity to really reevaluate what this next phase of your life looks like. And if you look back at the last 18 and you're like, whew, that is not how I want it to go anymore. Awesome. Make a clean break right now. Make a change. Time to do something new. Some ways to create those sustainable self-care routines that don't makes them not feel like a chore, makes them not cause sacrifice, because I'm self-care without sacrifice. Think about some fun stuff that you like to do. Like I said, maybe you love hiking, maybe you love biking, maybe you don't know if you love those things. Join a meetup, get on that meetup app, or ask some friends on Facebook or whatever if they want to start hiking with you. Um, find some things that are easy to integrate into your life because you already like them or do them. If you love dancing, maybe find a line dancing, country line dancing night, or a salsa night, or something that you can go to with your partner or your friends. Find something that's easy to integrate into your life. Again, if you were driving carpool for the last 10 years and now you don't have to drive carpool anymore, woo, that's a big block of time. What can you do with it? Um, when you're going through these changes, it's really easy to get focused on what's happening right now. I got to send out the announcements. I got to organize the party. I got to do this and did that. It's really important that you don't lose sight of your goals in that process. So some ways to make sure that you are going through this and keeping yourself and your goals and your happiness is to make sure that that you're doing your power hour at night, that you are looking at your day in the morning and really being intentional with how you spend that time. Again, sometimes these life transitions open up more time. Maybe they don't. Maybe now you've moved your parents in or your mom or your dad in and now you're caring for them. It's going to change your schedule, right? So it's important to step back and go, okay, where do I fit in here? And plan it out. Plan it out every single night and every single morning. Takes 5 minutes. I've talked about this plenty of times. You can go on my blog and search planning or power hour or whatever, and it's on there. There's plenty of other episodes that I've done on that kind of stuff. Or just shoot me a message if you need help finding them. I'm happy to share it. But the important thing is that you don't lose sight of yourself and you don't lose sight of what's important to you. And if you're in a new environment, maybe you just moved, or maybe you're going to move, it opens up an opportunity for maybe a new place to exercise, maybe a brand new kitchen that you want to try cooking things in, whatever. You can reorganize it to make cooking more efficient and less of a pain in the ass. Who knows? Lastly, celebrations. A lot of life changes, including graduations, involve celebrations, and sometimes more than one. So how do you do it without absolutely blowing your entire success on 3 days? First of all, be the one that provides the fruit and veggies. If you're the one hosting, great, you're in charge of all the food, right? You are in charge, my friend. You can make sure that all the food provided isn't garbage and isn't stuff that is going to derail you. Sure, have some goodies, have some treats, have a cake, whatever. Have one bite, one not one bite, one piece, or have one glass of champagne to celebrate or whatever, but don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, and just go nuts because you've had one thing. That doesn't mean you just have all the things. Um, think of non-traditional ways to celebrate. Like I said, maybe you all love hiking, so you know as a celebration, hike to the top of a mountain and celebrate at the top like a new beginning, or maybe have a party at a swimming hole or something like that. I mean, there's all kinds of things you could do, but there's a lot more things you can do that don't involve just sitting around and eating and drinking. And the more, fun things you plan, maybe you do an obstacle course, maybe have the party at a bowling alley or something. I mean, they're not hugely like strenuous things to do, but it's a little bit of movement. It's a little bit different. Um, Switch it up a little bit. We tend to fall into the same habits and serve the same foods and have the same types of celebrations for everything. Try switching it up. Try switching up even where you stand. When you go to these celebrations, don't stand in the kitchen where everyone else stands. Don't stand by the food table. Go stand away from it so that you aren't mindlessly shoving stuff in your face. So milestones are tough. Milestones are emotionally tough. They're physically tough. That is the last component, is your emotions and your feelings. Anytime life changes, we get emotional. Humans don't like change. We are creatures of habit. Don't eat your feelings. Don't drink your feelings. Feel your feelings as much as you don't want to. Give yourself time to go for a walk in silence, to process, to cry, to laugh, to do whatever. Sit in your car and scream if you need to. Give your self time to do that instead of trying to mask it with busyness, with food, with alcohol or sugar. So pray for me and my mama heart as I go through this life transition, and I will do the same and continue to support you as you go through yours. If you're going through something and you're frustrated and you don't know how to handle it, and you know that it's going to end up with a box of cookies and a bottle of wine, please call me, shoot me a message. Let me support you. And I'll be crying my eyes out. So, send love and hugs to my mama heart, because I know I'm going to be a hot mess. So, here's to adulting for them and moving forward for us. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, you're in charge. You're the only one who can create the life and the body you desire. You and only you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to cheer you on, and occasionally to give you the kick in the ass you need to make it happen. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. If you found value in today's episode, please hit subscribe. It'll bring all the newest episodes to the top of your list. You won't have to worry about it one less thing. And I would love for you to share it with your most stressed out, frazzled friend. She needs it even more than you do. If you have a question or a topic that you'd like me to cover, reach out, shoot me a message on any of the socials or directly on my website. I would love to hear your idea, your question, and I'm always looking for new ones. Until next time, keep being the badass you are, and remember, you are in charge.